Well, it is my privilege. I've already talked about him, Dr. Barry Asmus. He grew up with Mary Ellen, actually, and he is an economist, and you're going to be blessed. So let's give him a big ACC welcome. You have to admit it's hard to give a welcome to an economist. They've predicted 8 of the last 3 recessions. Economists choose to become economists because they do not have the personality to become an accountant. What a great bunch of songs. I just, as I was listening to you all sing, boy, it would surely be my prayer that 50 years from now, we still have congregations throughout America that come, join, love the country, sing, praise God. You hope, don't you? Yeah. So do I. So do I. I took 2-3 years out of my life to do something different, and that is research a book and write the book. And Dr. Wayne Grudem and I co-authored this book called The Poverty of Nations, and it came out about 4 or 5 months ago. And so it was just our delight to work hard and get that book done. I want to not give a book report, but I would like to say just a few things about the poverty of nations, and then transition into this wonderful time that we're celebrating Veterans Day, and so on. The interesting thing about poverty is being true from the beginning. Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, and he had a great idea. And Adam and Eve in the garden had another great idea. And he put them in there and said, be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and exercise dominion over everything that walks. And so what an unbelievably beautiful start. Unfortunately, not many years have passed, and we're into Genesis chapter 3, where Adam and Eve sinned, and God then says, cursed be the ground that you will work. The rest of your life, you can go living at the sweat of your brow. And from dust you came, and to dust you will return. You take a deep breath, and you begin to realize that as the thousands and thousands of years of years that pass up to the time of Jesus, and then another 2,000 years, that by and large, humanity has lived in poverty. As a matter of fact, there was really no economic growth in the world until about the year 1700, the beginning of the 18th century. But until that period of time, poverty, poverty, poverty. Poverty has been the universal condition. Poverty is, gravity is, prosperity is difficult. Mankind has tried everything it could think of to try to pull itself out of poverty. It tried hunting and gathering and subsistence farming. It tried slavery. It tried tribalism. It tried feudalism. And it tried mercantilism. It's tried everything. None of those things have worked to pull the world out of poverty. So we thought we will recount that and make sure that the readers know that poverty started in Genesis chapter 3 and went thousands of years, which is another way of imagining your children would not live a dime's worth different than your great-great-great-great-grandparents. I mean, it was $1 to $2 a day poverty. So we thought we'd recount that, and sure we understand that. And then maybe draw a map of the world today, 2014. The green countries are the countries 6,000 and 8,000. And then the dark red, or almost brown countries, are the countries that make less than $3,000 a year. So as you look at even a 2014 map of the world, we see that, my goodness, we still have at least 1 billion people, perhaps 2, living in the dark brown, the dark red, the poorest of the poor. Wade and I took the time to go look at some of the poorest countries in the world, and it's stunning. You've done it too. You've sent missionary people to different parts, and they always come home very thankful to America, but just having great wonder in their hearts about how people can live like that. When I was in Mozambique in the year 2000, to put my arms around some small children who were swimming around, wipe the flies off their faces, it's just an event that you don't forget, and you come back to Arizona and you live so very, very nicely. But it's not just flies on the faces of children, but to realize that there's 1,000 children per hour dying of starvation, and you begin to pick up the idea of how this is working, i.e., not very well. So, is there a chance you can write a book that is laying the Bible's perspective on freedom, Bible's perspective on poverty? Secondly, though, is that all it's going to take is the Bible and conversion to Christ, and realize He is the Alpha and Omega, and when it's all said and done, what difference does it make? Even a man who gains the whole world and loses his own soul has lost it all. So it's not like we live and die just for material things. But on the other hand, Wayne and I thought we should take the position that we believe, that the Bible believes, that life is better than death, that health is better than sickness, that education is better than illiteracy, that freedom is better than slavery, and that prosperity is better than poverty. And if that really is the case, then what information could be brought to bear that might be able to not necessarily eliminate poverty, because Jesus says the poor will always be among you. So I'm not sure that you can say that we can eliminate poverty, but can we do some things to begin to alleviate poverty, to take some of the sting away, and to make it feel just a little bit better? So in our book, we have 450 biblical references to this area, because we want to make sure that any kind of thoughts that Wayne Armstrong is writing into this book are consistent with what God says in the Bible. And so we indeed try to do this. Here is the thing that we absolutely know for sure. We know for sure that foreign aid has not ever pulled one country out of poverty. We know for sure that foreign aid is really a band-aid to make the givers feel better. Foreign aid is probably, and any kind of a poverty program, inevitably, those programs create dependency. They rob people of their dignity, and they stifle personal initiative to the point that you give, and all of a sudden it becomes an entitlement, and all of a sudden, what have you done for me lately? So it just seems to us to be the absolute wrong approach, although the one that has been used widely. Helping people to become helpless is not an act of kindness. What poor people need is a hand up, not a hand out. What poor people need is a knitting machine not a slave. How do you help people become productive so that they can begin to pull themselves out of poverty that has been from time immemorial? Now, after Jesus was crucified, 100 or 200 years after that, a few little lights begin to shine in the world. One of those lights is a magnet party of 1215 in London, which is right outside of London, 20 miles outside of London, where the nobles met with the king and said, you know what, it's not right what you're doing to us. You don't keep the very laws that you passed. And so all of a sudden, rule of law and some kind of English constitutional law begins to take mild shape. A few hundred years later, John Locke writes on freedom and prosperity and freedom and poverty. And John Locke said to us in his books that private property is the main bulwark of freedom. Do you want to have freedom? You almost have to have limited government. But to have limited government, you have to have private property. Because private property is the only thing that takes some of the economic power away from government. The United States is one of the only countries in the world where people are allowed to own property and have mineral rights on the property. The rest of the world, it all accrues to government. So when our founding fathers says what we are about is free markets and limited government, our founding fathers meant it. We are going to have some limited government, and we're going to do that because we are going to allow Americans to own a house, own some property, to own things, to have title, to have deed, and those are the things that put the big constraint on government. So we've had some flickers of hope, and then after that, we moved to the 18th century. Now we're starting the 16th century year. That is to say, the 18th century, we had the agricultural revolution, then we have the industrial revolution, and then we have the American revolution. The agricultural revolution, people like Eli Whitney, the cotton gin, people like Eli Whitney, interchangeable parts. People like Eli Whitney say, you know what, why don't we make gears, pulleys, cams, and various parts available to people, and farmers put their own machines together and make plows and cultivators and punches and reapers, and we began to do that. And so all of a sudden, now Cyrus McCormick can come into the field in 1840 with his reaper, and one reaper can do the work of 15 men. Then the Industrial Revolution, big, Edison's electricity, Henry Ford, the gasoline engine, and car, and now we're cooking because for the first time in human history, we get to move away from man's muscle, or maybe an ox muscle, or maybe a horse's muscle, and we begin to move towards fossil fuel. When we move to fossil fuel, now you can put one man on a John Deere 45-foot self-propelled combine, and that one man can do the work of 5,000 men. Or put that one man in a diesel train with 100 cars behind it, and that one man will do the work of 50,000 men. Or put one man in a 747 jet, and that one man will do the work of 100,000 men. You get the idea. When you're limited to man's muscle, ox and horse muscle, for all of history, that is significant, but that ain't nothing compared to when you move to fossil fuel. And you move to fossil fuel, and it literally changes the world, and all of a sudden you have economic liftoff. And at the same time that that's beginning to go, the American Revolution continues to develop. The American Revolution, political freedom, we've sung about it, economic freedom, we've sung about it already, and religious July 4th, 1776, conceived in freedom and liberty, and that freedom has brought millions to my shores to tax for economic titles, but freedom has already been said from this platform has not been cheap. A million of my friends have lost their lives in Europe and Asia and the homegrown. Countless families have cried in anguish as they've heard of the loss of father, son, brother, husband, sister. But thank God those lives speak for something. I am big. From the Atlantic to the Pacific to the northern reaches of Alaska to the beautiful Hawaiian Islands, we have 3.5 million square miles, just teeming with economic opportunity. And except for our forests and ore, the wheat fields in Kansas, oil and Texas, corn, West Virginia, I envy the Empire State Building in New York City, the city of Chicago, Disneyland in Southern California. I have 3.5 million farms that are unequal productivity on any place on the face of the earth. But the story is more than just beautiful cities and city flora. My story is mainly about people we've already mentioned. Eli Whitney, we've already mentioned the agricultural revolution. So the fact is, my story is about builders and creators and dreamers and doers and inventors and engineers who have created more wealth than you can even imagine. Thank God for those kinds of effort. My story is way more than just doing work. We're also interested in play. We like high school sports and college sports and professional sports. It's more than a nation that just works. And plays, interestingly, I'm also a nation that prays. I have over 350,000 churches just like this, that on a day like today are worshiping God, praying to God, and thanking Him, thanking the God who is there because He is not silent. I'm also a country that has gone out to defend and not to conquer, a country that goes out to protect and not to possess. When I see a defeated enemy, I bind its wounds, I feed its people, I've given billions and billions and billions of dollars to restore itself to a place of honor among the nations of the world. The country's character, after all, is determined by the sum of its splendid deeds. I've abolished slavery, I've lifted countless people out of poverty, I've instituted more humanitarian programs for health and food than all the rest of the countries of the world combined. Now, if you compare that record with the actual histories of both ancient and contemporary societies, America might not be the best conceivable society, but it just might be one of the best societies that's ever existed on the planet. Perfect? No. Slavery? Terrible. Your early treatment of Indians? Not very pretty. Got it. Far, far from perfect, because we, like every other nation, is made up of sinners also. And that's what happened. But, we did pay a horrendous price in the Civil War. 650,000 men were killed in the Civil War. 50,000 civilians. You can imagine the sadness of Abraham Lincoln as he made his way to the Gettysburg battlefield and delivered the Gettysburg Address, where we, as the newsmen in that war, we had 200 straight weeks of a 9/11. 200 straight weeks of losing more than 3,000 people that week. We were bleeding to death. Lincoln was having problems even in his own home, much less his country. And he stands at the Gettysburg field and he says, near the end of his speech, we highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall experience a new birth of freedom, and that this government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish. Lincoln was done. It only took him 2.5 minutes. It's only 10 sentences long. The battlefield was totally quiet. A man raised his hand. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. President, my question is this. Can a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people survive? And Abraham Lincoln answered, I don't know how history is going to speak on America, but I do know that Americans were born to be free. And so here we go. Freedom really is the base for economic prosperity. Freedom really is the virus for which there is no antidote. Freedom really is a people's best investment. More freedom, more bread, more freedom, more per capita income. No question about it. The Heritage Foundation, along with the Wall Street Journal, publishes the Index of Economic Freedom. This is the 20th year that they've published this. This is the 2014. They look at 180 countries in the world and give each of the countries 2 pages. Page number 1 for the country will be a little history of what's happened the last 5 or 10 or 30 years or even longer in that country. And page number 2 is how are they doing on economic freedom. Because there's a direct relationship between prosperity and economic freedom. What do I mean, economic freedom? When you lower taxes, you increase economic freedom and you get growth. When you allow people to own and operate a business, you are allowing economic freedom and you get economic growth. When you allow individuals to save, individuals to invest, yes, good. The Bible commends saving and investment, obviously, and you get economic growth. So, let's look at the 10 economic freedoms, and let's track them every year for the last 20 years, and then this year particularly for the 2014 edition. And so what do we find? That when you allow people economic freedom, there is economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, China has been under oppression for 5,000 years. For 5,000 years, emperors, dictators, leaders, rulers that have the people of China under their thumb. Culminating with communism, which says what? We are going to abolish private ownership. Oh, no! John Locke said private ownership is the main bulwark of liberty and freedom. And the communists are going to get rid of private ownership and private property. Indeed, they are. And did it work? Are you kidding me? Did it work? It was a colossal failure. Finally, late 70s, Deng Xiaoping, who followed Mao Zedong, said, am I going to give religious freedom? No. When Wayne and I were in Beijing, and we got to meet with the underground church, I want to tell you, you hear the stories of our brothers and sisters in Christ, and the persecution that they're going through. It is not only stunning, it's heart-rending. So no, Deng Xiaoping is not going to allow religious freedom. No, Deng Xiaoping is not going to allow political freedom. Got it. But starting in 1977, Deng Xiaoping starts announcing economic freedom. Go ahead, move to where you want. Go ahead, open up that business if you want to. Go ahead, save a little bit. Go ahead, invest a little bit. And so Deng Xiaoping begins to allow a little bit of economic freedom, and China begins to lift off poverty levels of income. Does it work? Does it work? More capitalism has meant less poverty every single time. More capitalism, more free markets has meant less poverty every single time. So as we share what God has to say about poverty, when we share what God has to say about freedom, and what we share what economics says, freedom and free markets and limited government and private ownership, see, the poor people of this world have some property, but they don't have a title. They have some housing, but they don't have a deed. They have some small crops, but they don't have articles of incorporation. They need property documents. That's the proper role of government, to survey the country and get property documents. Otherwise, we'll never build up collateralization. So as Wayne and I get to go into foreign countries, I got to tell you that they're not overly impressed with America, because on the news and in their books, they don't read hardly anything good about America. This is a pretty lousy country from foreign point of view. So if we're going to be effective for Christ and effective to try to help lift them out of poverty, we have to do it in a very, very humble way, which we should anyway. That's the way we should live our lives. The way up in God's kingdom is down. As you and I are on the ladder of success climbing up, and inevitably we're going to meet Jesus on the way down. Jesus, humble. God opposes the proud, gives grace to the humble. Jesus, beatitudes, humility. That's what we see from Jesus. And so as we travel the world, and we present not only the gospel, but some good economics, hopefully, we want to do it with humble, grateful hearts. And so I'll close with that wonderful verse out of Philippians 2:6, which says, have the same attitude that it was in Christ Jesus. In that while he was God, did not consider equality with God as something to be grasped, but he was willing to become nothing. He became a bondservant. He came down to earth and dwelt among us, and even to death on a cross. Therefore, God gave him the name above all names. That at the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow. That at the name of Jesus, every tongue shall confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. If there be one of you together that came into this church, and you have not met Christ, you have not trusted Christ as your Savior, I've got to tell you something. Though we gain the whole world, though we lift people out of poverty, but lose our own soul, it's for naught. It's for naught. Because the only thing that really counts is what's going to last for eternity. And so, I will close in a prayer, and thank you. The time is so fast. This is the truth. I have 7 pages of notes, and I just finished the first page. So that's how well I time. It was even worse in Chicago the other day. They had 10 speakers come, and each of us were only given 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So you gave me 35, I took 38. Or maybe I took 40 now. If I stay here much longer, we're into the next service. So shut up. I'm going to pray. For those of you that have not bowed your hearts yet, would you pray with me? Father, who would have thought on a late May day, a beautiful day in Phoenix, come to this wonderful church and hear about Jesus, the Savior of mankind, without whom we are all lost creatures. But with him, we will someday reign in glory with him. Because he saved us, he forgave us, he redeemed us, we're his children, he loves us, he knows us by name. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus, that you do. Will you bless this church, their efforts this year, especially that being the person of Jesus Christ, being our salvation and our Lord. We love you. And we pray this in your name.